Hello everyone, welcome back to Criminal Procedure. So for this video, we will discuss about search and seizure under Rule 126. So what is a search warrant? A search warrant is an order in writing issued in the name of the people of the Philippines signed by a judge and directed to a peace officer commanding him to search for personal property described therein and bring it before the court. So that is provided for under Section 1 of Rule 126. So what is the nature of a warrant? So a search warrant or an application for search warrant is not a criminal action. It does not refer to the arrest of a person, or it does not refer to a criminal prosecution against the person, but is solely for the discovery and to get possession of personal property. And search warrant is not related to a civil process, so it doesn't apply to a proceeding for adjudicating civil rights or maintaining mere private rights. So this is exclusive only for criminal proceedings, and uh, the power to issue a search warrant is exclusively vested with the trial judges in the exercise of their judicial function. And like an arrest, the laws and rules governing a search warrant is based upon constitutional guarantees. So specifically here under Section 2, Article 3 of the 1987 Constitution of the Philippines, which provides that the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures of whatever nature and for any purpose shall be inviolable. And the same provision of the Constitution provides for the requisites for the issuance of a warrant of arrest. It says that no such warrant or warrant of arrest shall issue except upon probable cause to be determined personally by the judge after examination under oath or affirmation of the complainant and the witnesses he may produce, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the person or things to be seized. And what is the effect if the officers will search or will seize personal properties which are not particularly described in the search warrant? The effect is provided for in paragraph 2 of Section 3, Article 3 of the 1987 Constitution. Any evidence obtained in violation of this or the preceding section shall be inadmissible for any purpose in any proceeding. Now let's go to the requisites for the issuance of a search warrant. So this is basically the main topic for this video. And we will make another video for warrantless arrests. Number one is there must be probable cause in connection with one specific offense. So what do we mean by probable cause? Probable cause for search warrant means such facts and circumstances which would lead a reasonably discreet and prudent man to believe that an offense has been committed and that the objects sought in connection with the offense are in the place to be searched. So meaning to say there must also be a determination of probable cause that a crime is or was committed before you can apply for a search warrant. So dapat merong crime. Second, the presence of probable cause is to be determined personally by the judge. So you learned already that when you say personal determination, it means that the judge should conduct personal examination of the records of the case and determine for himself the existence of probable cause. It also means that the judge should not rely solely on the findings of the fiscal or findings of the officer applying for the search warrant. And third, The determination by the judge must be made after an examination under oath or affirmation of the complainant and the witnesses he may produce. So this is one instance that the issuance of search warrant uh, differs from the issuance of a warrant of arrest, because in warrant of arrest, there is no need to ask questions, no, from the witnesses and the complainant. Hindi kailangan na i-put sila to the witness stand, no. What is required for the issuance of a warrant of arrest is that the judge should conduct a personal determination of probable cause and should not rely solely on the determination or the finding of the fiscal, no, by examining the records and looking into it and checking kung talagang may probable cause, no, as to the existence of the crime. And lastly, the warrant must specifically describe the place to be searched and the things to be seized, which may be anywhere in the Philippines. So before natin puntahan yung fourth requisite, alamin muna natin kung ano ba yung mga properties na subject ng search warrant. So under the rules, specifically under Section 3, Rule 126 of the Rules of Court, the property subject of a warrant is personal property and not real property. At ano yung mga personal property na yun? Number one, personal property subject of the offense. Second, personal property stolen or embezzled and other proceeds or fruits of the offense. Like, for example, nagnakaw ka ng sasakyan. So, the personal property that should be subject of the search warrant is yung sasakyan. Or personal property used or intended to be used as a means of committing an offense, like revolver or knife. Now, let's go to the description of the place or person to be searched. Now, when can you say that the description in the search warrant of the place or of the person to be searched is already sufficient to grant the search warrant? So, under the rules, meron tayong test. A description of the place to be searched is sufficient if the officer with the warrant, with reasonable effort, ascertain and identify the place intended and distinguish it from other places in the community. Ang ibig sabihin lang yan, enough na daw yung description ng place kung kaya naman ni officer na hanapin at i-identify yung place to the exclusion of all others. So, this begs the question, kailangan ba it is technically accurate or perfect yung pagkaka-narrate mo doon or pagkaka-describe mo ng place? The answer is no. Kasi it is enough nga na ma-identify lang ni officer based sa description yung place intended to be searched to the exclusion of all other places in the community. What about description of the person to be searched? The standard for determining the legality of a warrant directed against a person is whether the person has been sufficiently described with particularity sufficient to identify him with reasonable certainty. So kahit na hindi mo siya kilala or kahit na mali yung nalagay mo na name, for as long as dinescribe mo siya and the description is sufficient to identify him with reasonable certainty, then the Supreme Court said that it is enough in order to grant the search warrant. Now let's take up this case of United States versus Darensburg. So here there is a search warrant now that was issued by the judge for the search of the following items allegedly used in an armed robbery of a drive-in grocery. So remember that the first requisite for the issuance of a search warrant is that there must be probable cause in connection with one specific offense. So here, that specific offense is an armed robbery. So kailangan, kung may isi-search ka, dapat yung mga items na yan related in an armed robbery. Okay? So, dito sa search warrant, dito sa case na ito, ang hinahanap nila are 3 revolvers and sawed-off shotgun. So, alamin natin kung ano yung description nila ng premises. So, ang description na nakalagay sa search warrant is apartment number 70 located at 3101 Highland Road in the city of Baton Rouge. So, the apartment intended by it was located in a large 4-building complex which bordered on both July Street and Highland Road. So corner pala siya ng July Street and Highland Road. Yung border siya, border. And contained approximately 450 apartments. The apartment search was the only one in the complex numbered 70. Pero ang mali dito is, hindi pala siya located sa 3101 Highland Road. Instead, located siya sa July Street, which was, kasi yung 3101 Highland Road is the address of the business office of the complex. So, in ascertaining the address for purposes of applying for the warrant, the officers had consulted the telephone directory, which carried the address of the business office as that of the complex. Apartment 70 sits about 300 yards from the business office in a separate building. So, merong canal that divides the two locations so that moving from one to the other requires traveling several city blocks and 987 departing from some distance from the premises of the complex. So, alamin natin ngayon kung ano yung ruling ng Supreme Court. The classic statement of the standard to be applied in examining the sufficiency of a warrant's identification of the place to be searched appears in Steele versus US. It is enough if the description is such that the officer with a search warrant can, with reasonable effort, ascertain and identify the place intended. Ano daw ang test? It is one of reasonableness. Kung reasonable lang yung description, no? So as the officer, no, can, so that it can aid the officer in finding the right place, no, or the place intended. And technical requirements of elaborate specificity only once exacted under common law pleadings have no proper place in this area. Otherwise, it would be very difficult, no, for the police officers to secure a search warrant, no, kapag masyadong perfect or technically accurate talaga yung nakalagay sa search warrant. Ang importante lang naman is matagpuan niya yung tamang place or yung place intended, no, given the stated description in the search warrant. Although merong mga errors, etc. Now let's proceed to description or particular description of the items to be seized. The provision requiring a particular description of the items or things to be seized is designed to prevent general searches and avoid the seizure of a thing not described in the warrant. And also, so nothing is to be left to the discretion of the officer executing the warrant. Kasi ang tendency kapag general lang yung description mo ng items, pwedeng magkaroon ng abuse, no, on the part of the officers executing the warrant. Kasi kapag generic yan, so it would give them the discretion to search for anything that they think are in connection with the commission of an offense. So in order to prevent or avoid that kind of seizure or yung sinasabi ng sweeping expedition na ginagawa ng mga officers, kailangan talagang i-describe natin with such particularity yung mga items na gusto nating kunin, and take note that hindi basta-basta kahit anong items lang ang ilagay mo sa search warrant. Kasi meron tayong principle na meaningful restriction. Anong ibig sabihin nito? It is one that leaves nothing to the discretion of the officer who conducts the search. One example nito is kung ang crime is about trafficking of cocaine. For example, in the case of People versus Homesen, kapag ang dinagay mo sa search warrant, sinali mo doon paper showing or tending to show the trafficking of cocaine, the Supreme Court said na invalid daw yung nilagay mo na papers showing or tending to show the trafficking of cocaine. Bakit? Kasi ang nakalagay sa affidavit, hindi naman siya nagsusupport for the issuance of a search warrant, and wala ding nakasaad doon na merong papers tending to show the trafficking of cocaine. So, ang ibig sabihin lang ng meaningful restriction is that yung affidavit ng complainant at saka ng witnesses, doon nakalagay yung mga facts and circumstances that will support the issuance of a search warrant, right? And kung hindi naman nakalagay or nakasaad doon sa search warrant ang mga bagay na nilagay sa search warrant, walang justification kahit na it is described with particularity. Naintindihan nyo? Kunyari, ang hinahanap talaga natin ng crime is violation of Comprehensive Dangerous Drugs Act. Tapos nga naghanap ka ngayon ng TV. Eh, hindi naman siya nakalagay doon sa affidavit. Wala namang support, di ba? So, that is what we mean by meaningful restriction. It means that a warrant may not authorize a search broader than the facts supporting its issuance. So, let's take up this case of Marcos versus search warrants. Yung nakalagay sa search warrant, yung description niya, stolen goods, obscene materials, or other articles of merchandise too numerous to mention. Sabi ng Supreme Court, inadequate. So paano mo malalaman ngayon kung ano yung stolen goods? Kung stolen goods yan, dapat alam yan ng officer, di ba? Kung ano yung ninakaw. So dapat nilagay nila kung ano talaga yung ninakaw sa offended party. Then we also have multiple set of books of accounts, ledgers, journals, columnar books, cash register books, sales books or records, and similar general descriptions. Sabi ng Supreme Court, this is unacceptable in a tax fraud and smuggling cases. Kasi kung tax fraud yan, dapat naka-identify na merong range yan. Kailan nangyari, ano yung mga serial numbers ng mga receipts at saka ng mga ledgers and journals because that is a tax fraud. Diba? So meaning to say, itong description na ito is too general, no? And itong unregistered purchase and sales invoices, sabi ng Supreme Court, okay lang daw kasi nga unregistered naman siya. So meaning to say, wala siyang serial number, okay? Kasi well generally no required talaga yung particular description ng items no to be seized, but there are items or personal properties na hindi talaga natin siya mabigyan ng specific description, no? Or the specific description is not available. Okay? Kaya example niyan is itong unregistered purchase and sales invoices, and that would be enough, no? Kahit na wala siyang serial number. It is not possible to do so considering these are unregistered. Okay? Now, what is our guiding principle in the description of the property to be seized? The description therein is, number one, as specific as the circumstances will ordinarily allow. So kung hindi naman kaya talaga or hindi available yung specific description, then okay lang na magkaroon ng general description for as long as, sabi natin na ma-ascertain yan ng officer executing the warrant at ma-identify niya with reasonable certainty kung ano yung bagay na kukunin nila in relation to the offense, no? Expresses a conclusion of fact, not of law, by which the peace officers may be guided in making the search and seizure, and limits the things to be seized which bear direct relation to the offense for which the warrant is being issued. So, kapag ang warrant ay general lang yung description niya, ang tawag dyan is general warrants. And when you say it must bear direct relation to the offense, so you must be guided by the principle of meaningful restriction, no? Na a warrant may not authorize a search broader than the facts supporting its issuance. So that ends our discussion for the requisites for the issuance of a search warrant. So we will continue in our next video for warrantless arrest. Goodbye.